Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside the GOAT himself, Phil Sims, part of the Bleed Sports Network, and brought to you by FanDuel. Big guy, it's okay, all right? But hey, good to see you, man. How's everything going?
Everything is good. No complaints. I'm a little distracted by those earphones, but that's another thing. And I asked you who they were. They're your sons,
They
Mateo.
are. I know.
Yeah. Well, he's breaking him in early. He can be part of the show. We'll give him the headset next week.
Stealing from a 4-year-old kid. Wow. Good for me, huh?
Yeah. No, he's the man. Mateo's the man. He might be 4 years old, but he talks like he's 10.
He does. He is the man.
But it's been a good day. We'll get into that Brendan Sorsby thing a little bit. I'm so disappointed just because I wanted to see him play. Either, I don't care where it was, in college or in the pros, just because he got on the map really this past year. And so I don't get that. And then I told you just before we came on, one of your teammates, I guess, University of Louisville, was Will Stein.
Yes, sir.
And now the head coach, University of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Of course, he was out there in Oregon running that offense. And I'd go, wow, Matt, this Oregon offense. And you go, yeah, it's Will Stein. I knew exactly what he was going to do. He's doing what he thinks he can, whatever.
Yeah.
We always had a good laugh about that. Very creative, good play caller, knows how to develop quarterbacks. And apparently, just talking to a few of my teammates at Morehead State who are big University of Kentucky fans, they think this is it. We got it,
Right.
I think, it's almost like, remember how Mummy when he was there?
Yeah.
And it was just every play's a pass, throw. I think a lot of people, they did like it, even though they didn't win enough games. But I think the same thought might be about Will Stein, but he's not. He's not the same, not running the same offense that how Mummy did, that's for sure.
No, probably not, but still exciting times, I feel like, for the state of Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
For Will Stein, of course. Definitely not something that was given. He earned it the right way by just being an awesome play caller, developer of the quarterback position there at Oregon. And hey, what an opportunity for him. And, amazing too, because he just bleeds Cardinal, right? I mean, he is just all about the Louisville Cards and just what that represents. And damn, Will, you just traded sides to the dark side. I mean, just like that.
No, his dad was a big UK fan in the stands, and he was growing up, and he's got a uniform on with the Kentucky when he's a kid. So, man, he had them both covered. No matter where he got hired in Kentucky, they're going to like him. So,
that's right.
It's really interesting. You always told me things about him and that. And I got to tell you, I can't wait for the season to start just to see him and what he does. And I just hope they have enough talent where they can hang in there, where his coaching can maybe overcome the fact that they're not, the most physically gifted team in the SEC for sure.
I mean, I don't know. You say that, but the past handful of years, they've always had really good defensive talent. And of course, Coach Stoops, like that was his specialty. He really had a great eye for identifying some really talented football players, maybe some guys too that were kind of flying under the radar, and then they did a great job developing them within their scheme. And you saw these handful of years, they would lose some of the games that they were expected to win. But every now and then, they really would be kind of that pebble in your shoe of some teams that just thought like, all right, hey, we got Kentucky, we should beat them. And we saw that displayed a few times, right? Stoops had a great game plan against Lane Kiffin and the Ole Miss Rebels there, where they were essentially projected to be that team to beat in the SEC, especially with Jackson Dart at quarterback. And they really did a great job of neutralizing some big-time plays, and they've had some high-level quality players on that side of the football. Play calling, quarterback efficiency, just decision-making at the position as well has always been something that's a little bit questionable the past handful of years. And, I think Will Stein's definitely going to be able to clear up some of those things that have troubled him the past full year.
I'm sorry, Matt, I was driving to Louisville from Morehead. I went down for homecoming. And so I'm listening to them playing the University of Texas.
Yeah.
And it's why we're listening. We're rooting for Kentucky. And your mom, Diana, my wife, she's sitting there and saying things. I said, no, don't worry. Kentucky will refuse to win this game at the end. Don't worry. And, it's amazing. And they did.
Yeah.
They kind of dominated the play. I'm on the radio. Well, another 2-yard run by Texas. Oh, incomplete. Texas punting once again. And, it didn't matter. Kentucky just, sometimes it's just not meant to be. They just didn't have that karma or whatever you want to call it to finish games out. And that's why Will Stein's the coach there now. Now, I think he's going to have enough in that play sheet of his that when they get in those situations, it's going to be a big difference. He's going to know what to exploit, what he's learned during the game. And like I said early, man, I'm excited about him just to see his coaching and see how it works out.
Yeah, I mean, and think about the quarterbacks that he's had these past couple of years. I mean, he of course had Bo Nix, Dylan Gabriel, right, and Dante Moore. So he's coached a few good ones now. He knows what a good quarterback looks like. He knows, his style of play. And for Will Stein, I think it's all about just mastery of the position, right? And he's all about just making sure that his quarterbacks can play fast and make quick decisions. And that's something that I think that he has really stressed tremendously well at the college level. All of his quarterbacks have high completion percentages. They feel confident when they're playing. It seems like they're always going to the right place consistently over and over every single week. So, a lot of credit to Will for doing that. And I mean, look at the state of Kentucky now, too. I mean, with Coach Jeff Brom there in Louisville and what he's been able to do, the success that he's had.
Right.
I think one of the more underappreciated coaches in college football sometimes, Coach Brom, especially too, like considering what he did at Purdue, right? Bringing them to Big Ten championship games, right? Now look, how Purdue's transitioned since he's left there. The success that he's brought to Louisville, the big time wins that they've had there, beating Notre Dame, beating Miami. It's just been awesome. Now Will Stein coming back into the state, right, with his crew, bleeding blue. And yeah, it's a good time. I think Kentucky understands how important it is to get back into the game, especially through the quarterback lens, the offensive lens now for them moving forward into the future.
Yeah. Quarterbacks for him, if they do have a little struggle, and that usually means like one incomplete pass, like, we got to get that fixed. He knew how to call plays to get them back in rhythm.
Right.
I think that's maybe the most important thing. Sometimes is calling the plays, being in the head of the quarterback. What is his mentality? Is he kind of like, man, it's just not going for me today? Well, find a way to get him going. That's what I always say that. And, it's kind of the last thing I say about Kentucky, but I'm really happy. He was a good interview.
Yeah.
Like all guys making their first career job or head coaching job.
Yeah.
The recruiting, of course it never ends. He sits in that office probably about 14 hours a day, or hell, probably more than that.
Probably more. But I think like what you're saying too is just you can never understand the amount of work that goes in for these head coaches, and it has nothing to do with the X's and O's on the field. So that's really the skill set that you learn. You learn and move up through the ranks by being a great position coach, by then being a great coordinator, right? Okay, and then getting another coordinator job at a bigger school. Okay, now I finally get to be a head guy. All of that information that you've accumulated, I mean, just throw it out the damn window, because there's no training for head coach training until you're actually the guy.
Yeah, it's like I think he said, spring practice, recruiting, NIL. And he goes, oh, yeah, the alumni. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you got to go out there and
whole nother crew you got to deal with.
Yeah, a whole nother group. Be nice. How much money are you giving us? Yeah, so that's got to be really tough. But good for him. I don't know what else to say except I think he'll do well. So we just got one more team that we got to follow, big guy. That's all it is.
Hey, that's okay.
We'll follow it.
Hey, that's our football family. That's what we do, right? We got someone that's representing the state of Kentucky along with Coach Brom too. So it can't help but root for our boys there in that great state, right? Representing Big Phil's hometown. Big guy. I'm also just want to get a little bit of your breakdown too, because you won't bring this up on the show, but I want to bring it up for all of our fans out there. you just successfully completed another Phil Simms North-South New Jersey high school all-star game here in the state of New Jersey. And just want to get your thoughts on, just how it went, what you came away with it. I mean, because I think it's pretty cool. Like, you know, hey, it's like that line, right, in Dazed and Confused with Matthew McConaughey. Big Phil, you just keep getting older, but at the All-Star game, everybody stays the same age. So, like, what do you think? How did it go for you? And again, too, girls flag football being introduced to that community now. First year that we had it at TCNJ, the College of New Jersey, did a great job hosting the game for us. Great setup, too, with the stadium.
Yeah.
But, just wanted to hear your thoughts on how the week went and, of course, the games as well.
Well, the week went fine. You know it's hard because it's hot, and I got to be on that turf all the time. Which my damn legs, they still hurt from the turf. But the game went well. All of it, the dinner the night before, all the fun the players had, that was great. And I think it was the atmosphere there is really, really good.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a lot more people were there than we've had in previous years. I think it's going to get really big now because of the location. It's easy to get to for, north and south.
Yeah.
I had a little hard time because, I've hit that age where I don't like to drive when it's pitch black, dark outside.
Right.
But, I have no complaints about it. When I was driving home after the game, I thought, wow, next year's game is going to be a lot better than this one we just had.
Yeah. Yeah.
For many reasons. We've been there. We saw what was going on. Now we know what to do to make the game even better. And pretty exciting. It really was. It's always fun to see a lot of people. The only time that we really get to see some of these coaches, of course, is the All-Star game. So it's good connecting with them again, too.
Yeah, it is. And of course, it's a great celebration for the families, the particular high school coaches and players and parents that are participating in the game. Of course, the players themselves. I mean, and that's what it is. It's a great all-star game to just celebrate an awesome career that these individuals were able to piece together. And, of course, celebrate them too in more ways than one, right?
Yeah.
On the field, off the field. Getting some of their teachers to participate and come to the game to watch, right? All that kind of stuff is so fun. Your thoughts, though, about the growth of girls flag football and how that all-star game has grown since its first start.
Well, I watched both games, of course. I got to see more of the girls because when the boys started playing their game, a lot of people are around taking pictures, talking, all that. That's all good, of course.
Yeah.
But the speed of the girls flag football teams was unbelievable. And, the throwing, the catching was really good. The throwing, it was solid. But I really think one year we're going to go down there and the girls flag football game, there's going to be one of the quarterbacks going to drop back and just rip it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to that day because you've even thrown with girls, teaching them how to throw it better and all this. So that time's coming too. The big thing I took away from all of it, well, two things. One, the uniforms. They were beautiful. Yellow and black, and then one that's black and yellow. But what it does to people like me, now, wait, who's the South? Which team? I mean, man, I'm telling you, I had to keep looking at the jersey. Oh, okay, it's the North. I got it.
Yeah.
But that was, so we're gonna fix that for next year.
Jersey colors. Got it.
Yeah, jersey colors are going to be different.
Yeah.
But
no taken.
I think the whole thing between the women and the boys, I did an interview today down in Atlanta talking about their quarterback situation. And I just said, where is it going? The speed of every league, pros, college, high school, youth, whatever. It's just getting faster and more athletic in size. And the hitting in the All-Star game was incredible.
Yeah.
And it was incredible because of the speed.
Yeah.
And so that part, and I will say this, I'm going to give a speech next year. Hey, quarterbacks, there's this thing called give up on a play. And, man, we saw some truly unbelievable hits on the quarterbacks. Now, they jumped up. They were all good. I really wanted to say, call me in the morning. I want to know how you feel.
Yeah.
But, Yeah, you just can't take every play and take it to the end. You know, you got to just know when to get rid of it, save the big hits. And that was another thing I'll warn the quarterbacks about next year. Come on, get rid of the damn ball. Let's
Yeah.
go.
We also need to have a chat too, big guy, with the referees, because one of the best plays
Oh,
of the All-Star game was called back on an illegal block back, and it wasn't even the case. And what happened was is that the guy threw the flag on the same sideline in which, of course, their team gave up the explosive play, and it really changed the entire game, right, and the vibe of the game. So
yeah.
that's one of those where it's just like we need Big Bill to kind of lean in and say, "Hey, ref, pick up that flag because it's my game." Uh,
Okay. Let me answer that. We talked, and it was annoying me. I'm going, man, come on, it just you got to let things go in these All Star games a little. I'm not looking for never throw the flag, but when it's a little tiny, just let it go.
I agree.
The
I agree.
fans and the players, and it was getting near halftime, and I was standing on one of the sidelines. I said, "Excuse me," well, to the coach, "I'm going to go talk to these refs. We got to keep the damn flags in their pockets some more."
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, no, no, don't do it. It'll be all right. Just leave them alone." And I listened to him. I shouldn't have
Yeah,
because
no. Next time, can't do that. All right. It
no,
can't be that every explosive play too is like, oh, there's a penalty there. And especially too, like I watched some of the tape of some of those plays too, and there was no penalty, right? So, and what's interesting too, I think for us to keep in mind is that the players themselves aren't quite in football shape because let's
no,
face it, we're playing in June. They ended their seasons in mid-December, right?
yes,
Latest. Most of them even before that in the state of New Jersey. So, hey, not in football shape. Well, guess what? So are the refs. The refs aren't in football shape either. It's been a while since they've called the game too. So it's part of it, but you're right. There's a big thing to it. Let's not make it too much about the refs. This isn't a show
no,
about the NFL either. It's about an all-star game, but
yeah,
clearly there is a common trend here. But overall, to go back to what you said about the girls' flag game, definitely feel like overall the improvement across the board is like unbelievable. It's astounding actually how
right,
much the overall game has improved just from 2 years ago from the first time that you ran this part of your All-Star game. So that's one. Well, I was like, wow, this game is getting that much better that quickly. Then you talk to a few of the coaches, even Coach Tierney, who was there on the sideline with us, and he's
right,
just like, the girls who have been playing flag in sixth, seventh, eighth grade now consistently, who are now freshmen and sophomores in high school, he
yeah,
goes like, it's unbelievable how much they progressed. So now we can see just like these changes for the game, they're going to happen in huge leaps and bounds by just the improvement of the skill set, the coaches that are now flooding to that area to help out that
yeah,
aspect of the game and its growth, the girls themselves who are participating in it. And that was one of the coolest things that I feel like I noticed, right? I talked with Gabby Gonzalez, who was the MVP of the South team. She played middle linebacker there and high level soccer player in the state of New Jersey. And she's just like, football is it for me. Football is everything. She goes, I love it. It's such a fun game. I never would have expected ever to have such a great impact on my life and just being in this type of environment and playing. And she goes, I like soccer. She goes, but I love football. Football is my game.
wow,
Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
cool.
I think there you could see it even the night before how excited they were, but
Yeah.
warming up to the game and all that. I talked to them and make fun and man, it was awesome. Just think of that group. Let's take eighth graders. They got 4 years now to play another season. And what I think is exciting, and I'm sure it is for the parents, scholarship offers.
That's right.
It's and and soccer for a lot of girls, maybe it's not quick enough for I need the ball more in soccer. Well, you're going to get it a lot in flag football,
Right.
and it is exciting to watch.
Yeah.
So the talent level, as you've said and I've said, it's getting better, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like in 4 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll be something to watch and have fun watching, as as a spectator, just because of the skill and how good they are.
And we had Janasia Wilson, who was the MVP of our first flag football game, right? Who was there
Yeah,
to
that's
represent
cool.
again and be an ambassador of the game. The first ever Nike athlete signed specifically for women's flag football, representing the state of New Jersey out of Irvington. Unbelievable, fantastic. Played quarterback in your game. but really is a little bit of a Swiss Army knife and plays for Kaiser University, who is essentially just like absolutely destroying the flag roll right now. And, hey, like there's not that many colleges competing at it yet. They're one of the first ever to do it, and they're really getting some unbelievable football players like herself. And it was really cool to hear her say, just like, yeah, the goal is to win a championship at Kaiser, and then of course to play in the Olympics in 2028. And like just to hear that sentence from her
Yeah.
is like, man, is this so cool? Like, is
Yeah,
this the most
great.
unique thing in the world? Like to see a sport like this at its infancy, and we already got girls that are eyeing the 2028 Olympics and participating in that way. I think it's
Yeah.
just tremendous.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And I have to admit, I got home late Saturday night, and on Sunday we had a little cookout. And about
Yeah,
halfway through, I said, I gotta go to bed.
you
Man.
did. You did. We were hanging out. I
Oh,
mean, we were having a good time, right? And then all of a sudden, Big Phil was like, "I'm leaving.
yeah.
Where you? You're home. Where are you going? I'm going upstairs. Go to sleep."
Hey, like I said, standing on that field, that turf, man, my
Yeah.
shins and man, my back, yes, on Sunday. Oh, I was miserable.
Big Phil, his shins, his back. All right, I'll leave it at that. All right,
All
but
right, when you turn 70, you let me tell you how you feel once you stay out there for a whole week.
well, listen, when I turn 70, I'm going to be smart enough to know that I'm not going to just drive down there on my own like Big Phil does. I'm going to do everything on my own. I'm going to drive there. I'm going to do that. No, I'm going to get a driver. I'm going to get someone to help me get down there. Right?
You
Take the
know,
pressure off of just the commute itself.
hey, it's just this. Come on. I just can't stand the thought of paying somebody all that money to drive me down there and back.
I
Okay.
understand, but there's also like just the thought too of like, you were funny. Even towards the end of the game, there's Big Phil going, "Hey, when are you leaving, Matt? When the game's over, Phil. What do you mean? When am I leaving? All right,
Yeah.
well, I want to follow you home. Follow me home, big guy. It's a 2-hour car ride. Where you gonna
I
follow
just
me
want
for?"
it's about the darkness of that two-lane highway. I said, let me just because I never knew where I was. I'm like, listen, well, whatever. I don't even want to get into it. We got
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. Don't even. No,
man.
we really don't have much to talk about. You're right, though. The one thing I noticed though about when the boys' game started, right soon after the girls' flag game,
Yeah.
just after the kickoff, maybe then after the first snap, I was like, wow, this is a super violent game. Like,
Yeah.
you're just reminded, just like, wow, this is unbelievable. George DeGrande, right, who does a lot of the work here for the All Star game, essentially runs the entire thing from start to finish, already preparing for next year, knowing him, right? But just unbelievable. Great job recruiting some of the best guys in the state, right, to represent some of the best girls in the state to represent the Phil Simms North South All Star game. Absolutely tremendous. So credit to him and his effort that he puts in every year to make this game great.
Yeah. More fun, the night before the big dinner and all that stuff and
Yeah.
giving out awards and who's the captains and we had many raffles for the players and on both sides. That was really cool. That got everybody's attention because the gifts were really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and they give them raffle tickets as they come in to eat, and so like I said, the gifts were nice, and it did quiet the crowd once it started. So
That's great.
okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
it was good. How about let's do this real quick.
Yeah.
Just a Brendan Sorsby thing. Let me give you my story.
Go ahead.
So today is Tuesday, right? Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? Hell, I don't even know.
Today's Wednesday, big guy.
Wednesday. Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
think a second. Um, I was watching his tape and all that
Yeah.
because he was going in the NFL draft, the supplemental draft. I wanted to know, and I just watched him and I go, "Wow, he is a first round quarterback."
Yeah.
And so I called a few people in the league, which I usually never do, and I said, "Just what do you think? Give me just kind of yes or no, yes." And everyone just said, "Oh, definite first rounder."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Wow, okay." I thought there'd be, well, he played here and he didn't, whatever. But, so that jumped out at me. And then I went and looked at all who could draft him. And of course, right away, I got stuck on the Jets. He fits kind of the criteria that they were thinking about it as a quarterback. They have 3 first round picks. Yes, I don't care what you say. If you want to call it wasting one on somebody, big damn deal, waste it. So there were a few teams I thought, oh, this will be interesting. That one, like, I picked Detroit. People go, why would you do Detroit? Jared Goff's there. I said, yeah, I know. But we're talking maybe about 2 years down the road. Do you want to get in one of those situations where you want to fight for a quarterback? Well, you got the guy
Yeah.
behind there.
And also, you just can never have good enough quarterbacks on your roster. And that's something they've had trouble these handful of years of trying to find just a good, solid backup for Jared Goff in case something happens.
Yeah, that's right. At worst, you're going to have a really good backup who gives you a chance someday to be, the franchise starter. So that's just a few things, or just that. And then I heard it, here I say it, I go on the radio account, I'm like this, I'm so excited. And then I wake up and go, what? It's crazy. So it looks like right now, I'm not going to get into the weeds with this, that Sorsby is going to have to sit out the year and wait for the draft next year. So, man, that's a long wait. It's a lot of action to miss.
It is. And, a thing to keep in mind, too, like even I think about guys like Will Levis, right? And it's just like, unfortunately, hey, these things happen. In Brendan Sorsby's case, like he couldn't really control these things. With Will Levis, he decided, hey, I'm going to basically just kind of go with surgery, get right, all that, buy some time. Either way, out of sight, out of mind, I think in the NFL world, in the football world, is a really, really real thing. Yeah. And that's what I think is unfortunate for Brendan Sorsby. He's going to be competing against guys that get not only this past season's tape, but now next season's tape in comparison to what he did just this last year. Yeah. And, that's going to be one of those things. We'll see if that film ages well, but the question will always kind of pop up of just all the other stuff. And I think it really was the NFL just saying, listen, we don't tolerate that type of stuff. So unfortunately, Sorsby is the one that's falling on the sword for, I think, a lot of college football players, high school football players that really need to start to be much more conscious and mindful of, yes, your betting is being tracked and you really need to stop doing that. Honestly, that's really what it comes down to. Yeah. Right? You just can't be betting on the same sport that you're playing. It just comes down to that.
Yep. Look, you did it. You knew it was wrong when you're doing it. It's so easy, Matt, to bet and do all that. Almost, I'm sure there's a part you just do it. You don't even think you're doing wrong. I'm not saying, oh, he's innocent. No, I'm just saying that the human mind and how we are as people.
Absolutely.
So. Yeah, and it's well, I hope it goes. It's not over. I'm sure they're going to sue. There's going to be a lot of suits. We're going to sue this guy. That's going to happen. So you never know. A judge can take this thing and turn it around again.
Yeah.
Nothing will surprise me. Last thing for me is that I just was watching TV before you came on, and it's a big thing. Who's going to be the starter in Minnesota this year?
Yeah.
Will Kyler Murray be the starter? I would say his chances of being the starter are about 95%.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's 100. So.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd give it a little. But if he can't win the battle against JJ McCarthy, man, that's a big strike against Kyler Murray. I mean, big, and it's not even about JJ McCarthy. Kyler Murray has had success in the NFL. He's got a lot more experience than JJ McCarthy does. He still has really, really good talent.
Yeah.
So if he can't take all that and put it together and be better than a guy that's still trying to learn how to be a professional quarterback, then man, your days they're in trouble.
Yeah.
So I think they got to do this and do it out. JJ, maybe he's kind of crossed the bridge and he's calmed down and his throwing's better and his decision making is good all off season during preseason. So you never know. But again, in saying all that, I still would be shocked if Kyler Murray doesn't win the job.
Yeah, no doubt. And Big Guy, thoughts so far on a strong start by the USA soccer team and they're doing with the FIFA World Cup? Your thoughts on that?
Well, a little disappointed I didn't get to watch the second one.
Okay.
I saw game one, and that was really good. And it is funny. You sit there and you watch it, kick, and all of a sudden you go, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
It is. It's a little bit of torture watching the games just because I it just it's who we are. I want to see more goals.
I hear you. I
Yeah,
hear you.
let's take two guys off the team and just let's let them just kick it and win 9-8 and stuff like. Hey, if they had the NFL owners with them, they'd be going. Hey, we need more scoring. This is just not working.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but it is exciting, and I would say I'm not surprised because it's been talked about a lot, and they've worked so hard on these soccer programs the United
Yeah.
States has. It's kind of finally showing what they've been doing, and it's great. I think when they play again, is it tomorrow night?
I want to say it is tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is. So
Yeah.
that'll be. I'll have a chance to sit or listen to it probably on the radio because we're going to be driving, maybe. But yeah, looking forward to the next game, and if they win it all, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool, and you could just see that this is probably the most athletic team, most dynamic team that we've ever seen with the stars and stripes on it. So I feel like that's pretty cool. Alex Freeman scoring a goal the other day against Australia, the son of Antonio Freeman, the receiver that played in the NFL. So like that's really neat. And of course, that sparked the whole conversation of like, if the USA just focused on soccer, we'd be pretty good, And the truth is that we live in such a resourceful country that we could have our focus in basketball, baseball, football, and soccer and all these other sports like hockey and golf and still compete in all of them. So, that's the benefits that we have with the resources we have, the great coaching and all that, the science, everything that goes back with it. So, good days for USA soccer right now.
No doubt.
And really cool, like that just, the Knicks in their year, USA soccer, hey, the USA hockey team this past year, right at the Olympics, like how special that was. I mean, it's a damn good year right now for USA sports, and really excited to see USA soccer continue on this path right now. So
you should apologize for those earphones.
Yes, I'll apologize also for these earphones. You can get these at simscompleteqb.com.
Yeah, okay.
Enter the promo code. No, there's no promo code, so don't go there. Yeah. This is Sims Complete on the Bleed Source Network, brought to you by FanDuel. He's Matt Sims. I'm Phil Sims, former Super Bowl MVP at number 21. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you. See you, man.